This is a 1965 Plymouth Satellite with an exquisite 318 V8 and enough space-age design flourishes to make it worthy of its name.
What I love about this era of Mopar...
Christopher, this isn't a show about cars.
Producers.
What comes to mind when I say Kansas? Whatever that is for you, I'm not sure any place can rival the beauty of what today's guest has in store for us here.
Good morning.
I'm
Wonderful.
I'm glad you got the memo on the attire.
Oh yeah, twinsies today.
Twinsies.
Huh? Twinsies.
I will admit I was expecting a little less water when you said Kansas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I was expecting.
Yeah,
Good to
man.
see you.
Good to see you.
So what do you think?
That's beautiful. It's fantastic.
65 Plymouth Satellite.
Yeah, I have not heard of a satellite before.
Right at the end
Yeah.
of the space age naming
Yeah.
scheme where they were running out of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gorgeous though. How much trouble are we going to get into today?
Got any friends on the force?
I don't know if I want to say that out loud.
Okay, we'll cut that part out. You get a drink?
Yeah, let's go. These cars, they were made with more human hands, if you will, right? And there's definitely art to them.
Well, I mean, we were joking, but the little space age touches in this car. I mean, the logo is a rocket.
If it had lasers, would you use that as a guiding system to shoot some?
I mean, that is
right?
like,
Come
that
on.
is like a going down the trench in the Death Star thing right there.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what it's for. It's not labeled.
You know the great thing about old cars like this? One of the many great things. There are no seatbelts.
No,
I think that's a great thing about a car.
I agree. So you name your cars?
Yeah, I have been known to name my cars, yeah.
My son and I named our Defender the Marauder.
That's a great name for a car,
After
especially for that car.
the ship in Star Wars.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't love it, but we just use it when she's not around.
I do want to ask, do you always hang out at the docks in the morning? Because we just kind of glossed over that.
Yeah, no. Just thought it'd be a good place to hang out for a sec.
Okay, I just thought maybe that's where you started your mornings.
No, I mean, sometimes we'll walk from our house and we'll walk out that way, you know, either I'll walk with my wife or the dog or whatever, but yeah, usually no.
You were recruited into this business. Do I have that right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
The story goes that in 2007, I was at at a place when I was working with my family in the electrical subcontracting business, right?
Okay.
That I just was tired of that business, and I was tired of working with my family. And so I actually went to my financial advisor and I said, hey, you know, Gwen and I and my wife, we went to go see him and just said, hey, you know, thinking about doing something different, maybe going back to school. And he said, no, that's a waste of time. He goes, you should come here, become a financial advisor, and you know that would be probably better for you than going back to school. So in September of 2007, the day after Labor Day, my cousins and I went in. We quit working for my dad and my uncle. The next day, we started the electrical company that we own today called Green Wave Electric, and I started the financial planning practice. And then later that month, my wife and I got married.
Wow.
So all within 30 days, you know, we had a lot of...
Pretty big life change in a rapid amount of time.
Yeah, but it was, but you know, even today and even then, there was no other choice. Like I just, you know how you come to that place where you've made a decision and you're like, I don't give a shit what happens. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna stop me. And yeah, 17 years later.
Did you still feel that way in 2008, the next year, when the market took a little bit of a
little bit of hiccup, yes.
Adjustment?
So the funny thing about that, right? It doesn't matter in the day-to-day moments. Okay, it affects you and how you see things the rest of your career, the way in which you communicate and share with people how to help them calm their anxieties, or talk with them through how they're feeling about whatever is maybe going on, and not necessarily within the markets, but just, you know, anything that they feel is big in their own lives.
I was just going to say that those feelings extend to their life then. It becomes bigger than about money.
People want education about their choices, okay? They want us to help simplify their lives. They want us to help make them feel better about the decisions they have in front of them and what the results may be from those decisions, okay? They don't want someone who's gonna be arrogant, okay? They don't want someone who's gonna talk down to them.
Right.
They don't want people using all this industry mumbo jumbo BS that
I'm a fiduciary.
Yeah, well, and I mean, what is that?
Nobody knows what that means.
The people who say it don't even know what it means sometimes, right? Yeah, that might be triggering for someone, but it's true.
There's something about what you just said that kind of highlights what at least I have perceived as the role of advisor, which is partly financial, but almost more counselor, psychiatrist.
Oh, I'm a therapist.
Yeah, you are
a therapist. Yeah, absolutely.
And so the question in there is, what is it about this business that you love? Do you love being able to play that kind of a therapist? Is it another part of the relationship? What drives your passion for this?
Even since like my early 20s, I've been a person that friends and family have reached out to seek advice on whatever it may be. And there's a natural part of me that's always been able to help provide advice for folks. So part of it's just natural. Like this job has always felt job's not really a right word. I don't even know if career's right. It just, being a financial advisor has always felt very natural to me, right? Like it's just an extension of who I already am. You know, the products, the investments, all that shit, yeah, it's important. You know, I get it, you know, it's important to help, you know, for people, but it's not what moves the needle.
Right.
Okay? It doesn't. The thing that I've really have learned to enjoy, and I didn't realize that I would, is helping small business owners. You know, when My dad and my uncle had the electrical business. You know, I was intimately involved, right? I would bid these giant projects, you know, and so I always felt like part of my responsibility was to bring in work to keep people employed and to help keep the business going. You know, when you've lived that experience, it's pretty easy to help communicate to other business owners who are trying to make payroll, who are thinking about employees, who are thinking about themselves. You know, they may not be the same, but there's a lot of parallels. And so it's really easy to connect with people when you can understand the stuff that they're living through day in and day out. Because, you know, when you're a small business owner, man, you're on call 24/7. You know, you live it, you breathe it, you think about it. Even when someone says you're thinking about work and you say no, chances are you're lying and that you are.
That's a really cool perspective, and I think it's something that not everybody understands that is good about small business, because there's the ability to leave work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go to your son's play that maybe you wouldn't have if you were sitting at a desk in a big company. And if the trade-off to that is, I'm going to sit and talk to somebody for 30 minutes while I'm on vacation, okay, I'll take that.
Sometimes you have to. I remember game 4 or game 5 of the ALCS in 2014. Okay, Royals were playing the Orioles in Kauffman, and I was in the parking lot eating Oklahoma Joe's with my wife on the call with a client about market volatility. And then we got off the phone and we went inside and we watched the Royals clinch a berth to the World Series.
Can you tell me about a time where you were able to engineer a really great experience for your client?
November 2013, I had a client, I think it was on a Monday morning. It was on a Monday morning, it was like 8:15 in the morning. And she calls me and she's like, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? And her husband owned a bunch of rental properties.
Okay.
And I go, well, what's going on? She goes, we want to sell them. We want to get rid of all of them. Can you help us unload them? So she sends me the spreadsheet and look at all the financials. And I just kind of came to this conclusion that you should not sell these. When we sat down, we got coffee, and I just told her, I go, look, I'm telling you this as your friend, I'm telling you this as your advisor. I can't let you sell these, okay? And I said, the reason why is because I think you and your husband are gonna leave a lot of money on the table. I said, I think what you should do instead is I think you need to start a property management company, and I think you need to start managing property for other people. So January 2014, they started a property management company. And then I think earlier this year, they sold that property management company and they're walking away from it.
Nice.
But the point is that was a situation where, you know, and I find myself doing this often. You come to me and say, I've got problem A, I want you to do this. I appreciate that. We'll look at it, we'll talk about it, but maybe the solution is something that you don't want to hear, okay?
This question does not have to be the period at the end of a conversation, but I do think it might be the most important question I've asked you today.
We'll see.
Could we have found something more uncomfortable to sit on than these stools?
Jesus Christ, yes. I mean, it's pretty uncomfortable. Are you just sitting there kind of like
Could you come be on a video
Yeah.
with me, Ryan, and we'll sit on metal posts?
Yeah, right, yeah. But at least we have the beer.
I think I'm gonna need another one to make the pain go away. I didn't think I would ever be in a video situation where I said I have a literal pain in my ass.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. Well, I think, aren't there some, there's a couch.
There's a couch.
We could
right
bring in
there.
the couch.
We could have been sitting.
We could just bring in the couch. They might not care. I don't know.
And instead, we sat on these.
That's okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What else?
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.